Good evening, my friends. I'm your sincere film critic of cult movies, Finch Walken. And we are all interested in cult B movies, for that is where you and I will be spending the rest of our lives. Or, well, probably mostly me. But I digress. Now, as a film critic, such as myself, I could be spending my time talking to you about such A-list material as Gone with the Wind, Chinatown, or the various film catalogs of both Daniel Day-Lewis and Meryl Streep. Well, I only really do that if I'm really trying to fall asleep at night. I'm not trying to do that now. So I want to focus on obscure B-movie cult films that no one talks about. The misfits of the cinema world, if you will. Now, in the new age of comic book movies, superhero films galore, exploding in the box office, we have various spandex and CGI superhero fights galore, so much that it all looks the same. With the MCU and DCU films, many people forget of the first Marvel film, the first Marvel live-action film, where the first comic book hero of Marvel Comics came on the big screen not as a man or woman, but as a duck. Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is a film that is, well, beyond camp value. But if it wasn't, it wouldn't be on the show. So that's the point. It has a fun aspect to it. You have a good time while watching it. It is self-aware of what it is. It's not trying to be an overly serious superhero film. It has the same tongue-in-cheek humor to which the comic books have. So the naysayers of the film who say, oh, it's too quirky and too weird in its humor, well, they clearly didn't read the comic books it was based from, if they were so-called comic book nerds, but I digress. This film has a good, fun, camp appeal to it. Even the animatronic effects done in the mid-80s still hold up today. When if today they want to make a superhero in a film, they just have them wear some gray pajamas with ping pong balls all over their body. And let's not forget our leading lady, Leah Thompson, known for her Back to the Future role, obviously, but here she plays a love interest to a duck. Now, I know what we're all thinking, but this movie makes it not seem as creepy. Okay, forget it. The point is, she delivers a very powerful performance of a woman in love with this duck-man hybrid. No other actress could deliver that with such a straight face and true dedication to her craft, and that should be applauded. And not just that, of all the comic book heroes that have been out, they all wear the same spandex superhero suit, but not Howard. Oh no, he dresses in normal, everyday clothing, as if to say, we can identify with him, being an everyman, and that all of us, no matter if we're an outcast or misfit, wherever, we too can be a hero. What's going on? Is someone hacking the show? Is it that Gavin Jiff guy again? Hey man, this is Gavin Jiff here, man, the nerdiest of all nerds. Hell, screw that. I am your nerd king, man. Hell, just look at all the nerd shit on my walls behind me, man. And hey, let me tell you, I love every comic book movie ever made, man. From MCU to DCU. Was made by that Tim Burton guy, because he didn't like my Superman script. Sorry, I'm just a little tense. This guy makes fun of how I dress, saying I look like some artsy weirdo. Yeah, when you look at how he dresses, all I can say is a kid from the 1990s called. He wants his backwards ball cap back. He never looked cool on a grown white man, and never will. Hey, but enough of that, man. I'm here talking about the new age of comic book movies. Or, well, nerd movies in general, man. Hey, Star Wars, MCU, and the DCU have never had a bad movie. Or my name isn't Gavin Jiff, man. And hey, I know more about Batman than Bob Kane and Bill Finger combined, man. And they created Batman. For instance, Batman doesn't kill his enemies, unlike that Michael Keaton version. So let me guess. At this point, Gavin Jiff has already badmouthed the Tim Burton Batman films and claims he knows everything about everything of the nerd world, saying that Batman doesn't kill his enemies. Interesting fact, ladies and gentlemen, back in 1939, both Bob Kane and Bill Finger created Batman. And in that same year of his origin, he would in fact kill his enemies from time to time, and even commented on it. Does Gavin Jiff know that? I don't know what you're talking about, man, but I'm Gavin Jiff. Signing out. The other thing, my dear friends, to point out about Howard the Duck and why it works is because, like a lot of 80s movies, it has an iconic song that sums the whole movie up. Hell, a lot of songs in 80s movies are written about that movie specifically. And Howard the Duck is no exception to this rule. Now, some snot-nosed nerd critics of today's standards would look down their nose at this, saying like, "Oh, that song sounds so 80s, and that's so 80s movie." Well, duh. So in conclusion, my dear friends, that is our review of Howard the Duck. And I apologize for the rude interruptions by my nemesis, Gavin Jiff. And yes, his last name is spelled just like the peanut butter. I don't know why. But regardless, they're bringing Howard the Duck back in the new MCU films, as he was briefly cameoed in those Guardians of the Galaxy films. Not that I've checked them out particularly, but interesting to see maybe what new designs they have for him if they kept that animatronic effect going. Oh. He's just a CGI duck. I see. Well, regardless, check out the original Howard the Duck film. Oh, crap. One last thing I forgot to mention. It's not really a kiddie film. More of a mom and dad film. Simply because there's one small scene I swear is probably like 5 seconds long of duck tits. I don't know why they're in there.